How are you guys? It's Wednesday night? My life is unmanageable. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna come out and be honest. My life is unmanageable. I don't know what day it is, but I'm really excited that all of you people want to go through the torture of learning about finance on a Wednesday night. So that's cool. My name is Paco. I founded this company called the Hell Yeah Group, and I just really like helping creatives with finance. I know that sounds weird because no one else does. That's why I do it, because there's no one serving the creative community. I'm a creative myself. I'm a musician. I went into finance. What did you say?
That's curious.
Woohoo! See me afterwards.
Okay.
I'm a musician, and I didn't think I could go to art school, and I didn't think that I could study music because I'm first generation here, and I felt like that would really hurt my parents' feelings if I didn't study something practical. So, I studied finance. And finance is a lot like music, right? There's patterns, there's math, there's meter. Maybe the illusion of patterns is what I really should say. But it's like this nebulous concept that's not like a tangible thing, right? Can we agree on that? Like a song is not this like tangible thing. Same thing with finance. So I think that's why it was really attractive to me, because I was like, you don't really have to do anything. You just have to like use your mind and process some shit, and people pay you, right? Disclaimer, I'm gonna say bad words. Is anyone super offended by that? Okay, only slightly? Okay, well, just say uncle. So anyways, I studied finance and economics. I cut my teeth doing small business consulting and management. And boy, was that boring. Running a business, like the actual business and the admin, is kind of boring. Yeah, everyone can kind of agree. Like, when is sales tax due? Who the fuck do you pay it to? I learned all of that, and I was like, wow, I think people need to know this stuff. So I collected all that information, not knowing that I would ever come up with the Hell Yeah Group. And then I pivoted and I started to study wealth management. I worked in a wealth management firm. It was financial planning and wealth management, and we managed $1 billion. No one, yeah, cheer for that. I'm sorry, I get on a power trip when I have a microphone in front of a crowd. Do these things. So yeah, I was in doing wealth management, financial planning. My ego was very satisfied. The lobby there was marble. I was on the 6th floor. I was gonna have a corner. I was like doing all the right things and checking all the right boxes to be fancy, right? You know how the story goes. I was unfulfilled. I was only helping like very rich people stay rich, and they were being assholes to me all the time. So I left. And then I started working at a marijuana consulting firm, which was cool, because then I could walk into parties and sound cool again, right? Because as a millennial, you're laughing because it's true. Being cool is all that matters. No, it was interesting, and I learned about laws, and I learned about setting up pot businesses, and I realized like, oh shit, I'm really fucking good at business. What am I gonna do? So I decided to form the Hell Yeah Group, and now I help creatives. And the commercial part of it is, please sign up for my newsletter. It's really good. Who signs up? Tell them how good it is. Yeah, so sign up for my newsletter. That's really the only commercial I have, because I work really hard on it. I write blog posts, so people tell me the things that they struggle with, or 5 times I'll hear, I don't know the difference between an accountant and a bookkeeper, and I'll write a blog post, and I'll curate articles. I spend like 2 hours a day reading articles, and I'm really proud of this newsletter, so sign up for it. But otherwise, I do one-on-one consulting. I'm gonna launch a course soon. I do bookkeeping. I have a company called Hell Yeah Bookkeeping. And I also have a nonprofit organization. It's called Allies in Arts, and we help women, minorities, and people who identify as LGBTQ+ get funding or equipment to make art. So that's my commercial, and I'm just gonna dive in, yeah? So we asked who are business owners, who are freelancers, who works for somebody but they want to work for themselves. And then who works for somebody and they have a side hustle. Cool. So I'll talk to everyone. And I'm gonna look at my notes, so I'm gonna apologize in advance, but I'm actually not that sorry, because once we get to number 10, you're gonna be like, that was way too much shit. I can't believe she even keeps some of that in her brain sometimes. So it's gonna be really dense. And I'm gonna give you 10 tips. And I'll also email it to you. Can I do that? afterwards?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'll email it.
Sign up for our newsletter.
That's all we want. We just want space in your inbox. So if you sign up for their newsletter, I'll send out the presentation with all of my notes. So I'm going to give you guys 10 tips. And here's my philosophy. I care both about your personal finances and your business finances. So there's 10 tips, and they're going to apply to both. And sometimes I'll very blatantly say, do this for your business and do this for your personal stuff. But sometimes it'll be a little nebulous, because it's kind of nebulous, right? I ate a little bit of cake before this, so I feel weird. Sorry. All right, so 10 tips. And also, I realize that there's a lot of factors that impact us. We can work as hard as you want, but if you are born at the bottom of the ladder, trust me, I know. So take all of this with a grain of salt, okay? All right, so rule number 1 is philosophy and touchy-feely feels. It's to know yourself. Yeah? Okay, who meditates here? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay, yeah, so knowing yourself is important. There's 3 good considerations. You need to understand what the hell you value, right? You gotta know what you value, or you're gonna make weird choices, right? Like, if I didn't value helping people, it would be super weird to make the choice to have a company that helps people, right? Then every day I'd be like, I hate my life. This is a weird choice I'm making, right? But it doesn't even have to be that big scale. It could be smaller scale. Like, this also relates to me too. I don't like cars, and I don't like driving, and I don't like being in the car, but I bought this really fancy car because my dad told me to do it. So first you have to understand what you value, right? And then you have to understand that everyone has all of these things that have fucked them up and made them who they are, right? So we're all fucked up about money, right? Like, maybe your parents fought about money, or maybe your uncle traumatized you by screaming at you when you were like 7 about something, about borrowing $5, and we're all really screwed up. All right, so first know yourself, know what you value. If you don't know what you value, you're gonna make weird choices. Can we agree on that? Yeah. Okay. You have to understand what has impacted you. We're all screwed up. That's okay. It's okay to be screwed up. That's what makes humans interesting and fun and, TV. And there's at least 2, maybe this will never impact you, but maybe it does impact you. So 2 areas. Your business area, if you have partners, they're going to be all weird about money, and you're going to be all weird about money, because we all have like our stories and our experiences and the narratives that we tell ourselves and the trauma, right? So work on that. Like, know what has fucked you up, and hopefully other people know what has fucked them up. And so you can come to the table and be tender with one another and be like, you're super weird about that thing, Dave. But that's okay, because my brother is too. So I'm going to be tender with you. I'm going to understand that you don't like it when I charge all my Starbucks to the business, bro. But the accountant says it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, be cool with each other. And then the second area is with your partner in life, right? It's like, I told my wife she can only buy 1 nice pair of boots a year, but she always wants to try to compromise it, like it's a compromise. But I have to understand where she's coming from. Like, her family, that's how they express love, is like they bought gifts for each other. That wasn't how it was in my family, but I understand where she's coming from, yeah? So, know what's fucked you up. And then you have to understand that things change. Like, you think it's gonna go one way, and it totally does not go that way, yes? Anyone experience that? So maybe it's not like knowing yourself, but I guess it is kind of like knowing yourself. Know how you're going to deal with things that change quickly or unexpectedly. You have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible. Especially the young people here. You guys know, if you're not like I do this/this/this, you're already not an adaptable person, right? Same concept. Cool? Do you guys want to further talk about philosophy? Does anyone have any questions?
What's your thing that you do in your business that people are like, why are you doing that? Like, what's your Starbucks analogy?
I definitely blur the line. I definitely spend more on personal things, when through my business when I know I shouldn't. I break those, but I'm comfortable with that. Like a lot of my meals I definitely put on the business because I work in consulting, and I work in connecting people. So here's one way you can back that up is if you have a calendar. So we're already going on a tangent, but that's okay. This is gonna be good. All right, so the thing with the IRS and like writing things off is it's like an onion, right? They first have to find you, they have to find the issue, and then they have to beat you on it. So don't money launder, like don't do crazy shit. But like running all your Starbucks through, like you can be having a meeting like every day. They don't know that, you know what I mean? But one way to back that up is by having a calendar, like making sure your calendar has all your meetings, yeah? But, I'm not saying you should break the law. I'm saying you should talk to your accountant disclaimer about that. That's what I do. All right, guys. Rule number 2. I always feel like I'm ripping people off when I put up this rule. They're like, duh. But the second rule is to earn money. And I realize a lot of creatives, they sometimes forget about this part, yeah? Just give me the eyes of yes. You don't have to raise your hand. I don't want to shame you. I'm not like that. But is anyone familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk? Yeah. He's great. I think he's abrasive for some people, but it's like a spicy sausage. It's not for everyone. Anyway, right? He's a media guy. He's like all about promotion. He teaches people marketing. He's built a media company. And like I said, spicy sausage, but sometimes when you're in the mood for it, check him out. He says something that like blew my, I already knew it, but when he said it, I was like, damn Gary V. And he said, if you're running a small business, cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. I'm gonna have a dramatic pause. Was that good? Cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. Do you guys realize how fucking serious of a statement that is? If you don't figure out how to get somebody to pay you $1 repeatedly, your business will not survive. Yes? So you got to figure that shit out. I can't really help you with that. I'm sorry. I don't know marketing that well. I don't know any of that. I'm really good at all the other things. But you have to figure out how to be valuable, how to communicate that value proposition, get somebody to pay you, and do it repeatedly, right? Or be attractive to employers and work for a company or a combination of the two, yes? Cool, because if you don't earn money, you can't do anything. You stop at rule 2 and we're done. The presentation's over. Okay, so if you're sitting here, I have a feeling that you've probably earned $1 before, so you know what it takes. Here's one thing I want to kind of implant into your brains. You should be very concerned about multiple revenue streams, yes? Multiple revenue streams means making money in different areas, different ways. So like, let's take myself, for example. I could earn money speaking, get a check for that. My band could license a song. I get a royalty check for that. I work with somebody one-on-one consulting, I get hourly payment for that. I have an agency or my bookkeeping firm does bookkeeping and I get revenue for that. Does that make sense? So that's very important, the multiple revenue streams. It's going to be important now that you're young because the economy is whack and crazy and wow. It's really interesting and fascinating to me to see how wages haven't grown in the last 6 or 7 years, which is unbelievable. And I've seen we have to figure out multiple revenue streams, right? Because we couldn't survive. We can't survive on one revenue stream like maybe our parents or our grandparents did. Yeah? Sorry, I need a lot of validation. It seems like I'm not insecure. It's because I'm not. I just want to make sure you're getting the concept. So I don't want any dead cow eyes because I know that finance is not that thrilling. All right, so multiple streams of revenue. So I'd call that like diverse revenue streams, yes? So if you only have one stream of revenue right now, I'm going to give you a few seconds to think, how could you earn more revenue? All right, dramatic pause is over. But really, think about this. And it doesn't have to be like, oh shit, how am I going to do that tomorrow? It could be a long-term plan. But that's really going to unlock a lot of anxiety for you, especially if something gets pulled from beneath you. Or, for example, I had a client who was really good at Flash. And he was making like 6 figures doing Flash ads for like makeup companies. And then now Flash doesn't work on iPhones, right? So now he's hungry. So don't be like him. Again, and if you don't know how to earn money, here's my, again, I'm not an expert on how to earn money, but here's what I've learned in my experience. Be valuable, either to your employer or to your clients. Take away pain or solve a problem. And this one is very important. It's worked for me. And some people, they violate this rule all the time and they're successful, so I don't know how they do it. Don't be a dick. All right, rule number 3. This is a good one. If you black out and you get home and you're like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how I got there. I ate some cake. It got weird. And now I'm home. I hope you remember this. You got to save money, you guys. And I'm going to say again my disclaimer. I understand that we live in a world where, yes, there are classes, and yes, sometimes you can't earn as much as you'd like to earn because of the lot that the cards that you're dealt in life. And I realize that. So when I say save money, when I say spend less than you earn, for some people that's really easy. For other people, it's really hard. Don't think I'm not cognizant of that, okay? Sorry to get all political and weird. But yes, so this is like the pillar, right? Save money, spend less than you earn, yes? Who's doing like a killer job at this right now? I know the feeling, guys. So the first thing you want to focus on personally is your emergency fund. Does anybody here know what the textbook definition of an emergency fund is? Anyone at all? You, sir, in the back. Boom, if I had a candy bar, I would throw it over to you, but I don't, so just pretend that I do.
Beef jerky!
Woo! Yes, or beef jerky, or a spicy sausage, whatever. Okay, sorry to distract. You gotta keep it exciting because it is finance, right? So 3 to 6 months of your expenses, 3 to 6 months. So if you spend $3,000, what's 3 months, everyone? With enthusiasm. Woo! Right. So, and you could choose 4 months, which would be 12, or 5 months, you know, like whatever helps you sleep at night, but the baseline is 3 months. I realize that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But know what you need to have in your emergency fund is the first step, knowing about the emergency fund. Here's how I would do it. I would open up a new account wherever you don't bank. So if I bank at Chase or a credit union, I'll open up my emergency fund at American Express Bank or Ally Bank or a different credit union. And the reason why I do that is to save myself from myself. Who has been drunk and gone on Amazon? Raise your hand. See? So that's why you put it somewhere else where it takes 3 days, right? You have to sober up, be like, do I need all those? I just made my wife buy like 200 eyeglasses screws. I wasn't drunk, but like you save yourself from weird things like that, right? We need the eyeglasses screws. So it takes 3 days to make a transfer, yeah? So that's why I do that. So you protect yourself from yourself and out of sight, out of mind. That's like not your money to be spending. That's your money to be spending if you break your arm and you can't work, or you lose your mind and you need to go on a sabbatical, or you like, all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I didn't know we were having a baby, but now we're having a baby type of shit. Yeah. And then on the business side, it's like a fine line. I would say 3 months worth of expenses is ideal, but I realize sometimes you have cash flow timing issues, or they call it lumpy cash flow, where like all this money comes in, yay, and then for 3 months nothing comes in. So if it's possible to bill as much to have a reserve, that would be awesome. But I realize it might take you a year or 5 to get in that position, yeah? Cool. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, so in terms of savings, you also want to make sure to, if you're a freelancer, you gotta save for taxes, guys. I know. Someone's giving me a terrified face. I know. I got you, girl. I got you. You got to save for taxes. So, disclaimer, I know it seems like I'm an accountant because of my lack of personality. However, I'm not an accountant. I just get to hang out with them. And, I know enough to be dangerous to myself and others. So, you got to talk to your accountant. I know, that sucks. You got to call up John or Betsy or whoever your accountant is, and you got to say, hey, dude, this girl dropped some knowledge on me. Now I'm all freaked out. I thought I was going to learn all this stuff and feel chill, but now I'm freaked out. And one of the things she told me about was the fact that I have to save for income taxes. What percentage of my income should I save? The general rule of thumb is 30%. Yeah? Have you guys heard that rule before? So you could save 30%, but I would also call your accountant and see maybe they want you to save more or they want you to save less. And here's how you do it. You open up another savings account. It can be connected to your bank, but you need to open it up and then go online, and then you need to change the name and you need to call it tax savings account. And every time you pay yourself, you take a percentage of that, you put it into the tax savings account. And then you don't touch it. Pretend it's a piggy bank and it's not yours. And then come tax day, the piggy bank goes to Uncle Sam. Yes? Any questions about that? Way easier said than done, right? Simple but not easy. It takes, I know, it requires discipline, but once you get into the flow, it gets a lot easier. And then in terms of whatever goals you have, you should save for them. As much as you can, save for them. Figure out what your goal is. Let's play. Anyone want to give me either a really funny fake goal or a real goal, and we can be serious about it? Okay, buy a house. So, and you want a down payment of what? Let's say, how much? 100 grand, and you want that over the next, how many years?
2 years.
Okay, so tomorrow. Okay, maybe, I don't know what your circumstances are, maybe, but not most. So you need 50 grand this year and next year. I would open up a savings account, call it house down payment fund, and figure out, okay, you know, if I put away X amount of dollars each month, then I'll hit 50 grand for the year. And if that cash flow is popping off to be able to do that, set up an automatic transfer, boom, set it, forget it. Simply save 50 grand, guys. God, this job is really easy. But so yeah, do you get it? Like, figure out what your goals are. Another goal could be like, I want to go and start my own business in the next 18 months. You know, I need $18,000. I need to save $1,000 a month. I'm going to be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and ramen. I don't care. I need freedom. Boom, set it, forget it. Savings account, title it, auto transfer. You're good. Yeah? So that's how you save. Any questions? No, really. Yeah, go ahead.
What would you say about taking taxes out as a gross or after expenses?
I would say that if you wanted to transfer $1,000, then you would transfer $700 to you and $300 to the tax savings account. Sorry.
So if my gross is 1,000, take it out of gross, or take expenses and then take out tax.
Okay, when you say expenses, you mean what your personal expenses are?
No, business expenses.
Ah, your business expenses.
Yeah.
No, it would be whatever you're paying yourself.
Okay.
The percentage is a function of what you're paying yourself. So gross means before taxes. Net means after taxes. So let's say I needed to net $700 a month. I would pay myself $1,000, and I would put $700 would go into my personal account and $300 would go into my tax savings account. $300 is 30% of 1,000. Cool? Okay. Great. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah. Yes, they will. So he's asking about making quarterly tax payments. Who here makes quarterly tax payments? Cool. So quarterly tax payments, for you guys who don't, maybe you're like, what the fuck is a quarterly tax payment? So here's how taxes work. The law says that you must pay taxes as you earn them. So who gets a W-2? Who gets a pay stub? Okay, so on the pay stub, it's like, you make all this money, then you pay a bunch of taxes, right? So that's paying taxes as you earn them. Make sense? When you're a freelancer, you're self-employed, you're like, I don't care, I'm gonna pay myself whenever, and I'll pay you my taxes the day that they're due. Some of us do that, yes? Some of us don't feel comfortable because come April 15th or March 15th, you're like, oh shit, I have to pay a lot of money, right? So in order to avoid that, we pay quarterly estimated tax payments. Your accountant does all the wizardry, and they let you know what to pay. They'll give you vouchers. It's your responsibility to write the check and mail the voucher. They're not going to call you. They're so busy. Everyone needs their taxes done, so they rarely do the hand-holding. But they'll give you vouchers and you make those payments. It's psychological. It helps you because then when it's April 15th, maybe you only owe a few grand, right? So you're psychologically preparing. You're breaking down how much you owe, so you're saving it and then paying it. And then if you overpay, then you get a tax refund. Like the real nerds, like the real finance nerds, they don't like to overpay because they're like, I'm giving Uncle Sam an interest-free loan. They get all crazy, but if it allows you to sleep at night and like allows you to run your business and focus on what you're doing, that, like whatever the greater goal is for you, everyone's different. Yeah? You're welcome. I'm gonna move on, is that cool? All right, rule number 4 is you gotta build a budget, guys. Who's built a budget before? I'm so proud of you guys. I'm not being condescending. I think it's really important. The number, like, it's important to go through the exercise because, like, the reality of the budget is, like, who actually sticks to the budget that they project? Yeah, that was a LOL from the crowd. No one does. It's not real. Like, the important thing is to build it, to go through the exercise of it. And here's how I do it. This is part of my commercial as well. I offer a budgeting session, and this is what I do. I say, hey, dude, you need to send me all of 2016, all of the bank statements, all of the accounts that you use, and all of the credit cards. Give them to me now, and I'm going to look at them with non-judgment. I'm going to put it into a QuickBooks file, and I'm going to create a profit and loss statement for you. And it could be for you and for your business. Some people are like, for personal and a business and another business, and I'm like, you're killing me with this. But whatever it is, I break it down, and I break it down into different categories. Your fixed expenses, what you need to just pay your bills. Discretionary expenses, if you have more cash, you'll spend more in that area. Clothes, Disneyland, drugs, whatever. And then ancillary expenses, if you're not making money, you're not paying for these things. Like, you're not going to pay a lot of taxes if you're not making a lot of money. You're not going to donate you're not going to probably put a lot into various savings accounts if you're not making money. Probably not give a lot to charity, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah? So that's how I do it because I'm a super, super nerd. So I like to use this example. I was using my friend's bathroom one time, and she has glass doors in her shower. And I was like, I'm peeing, and I'm like, damn, these glass doors are spotless. And I look, and she has a fucking squeegee in there. That's like next level neurotic, right? Or am I the only one that thinks it's okay to have like a spotted glass door? I'm the only one, huh? I knew it. My wife is like, I told you. Anyways, I'm the squeegee person when it comes to budgets. So I go a little extreme. So if you don't break it down like that, that's totally cool. Like whatever works for you, just do a budget. What you can do is take the last 3 months, go through it, total it, put it in an Excel sheet, and figure out what your monthly nut is, yeah? And do not forget things that you don't pay each month. Like maybe you pay your auto insurance every 6 months, or your property taxes twice a year. Don't forget about those things. Bake that into your monthly nut. And that's what's important about the budget. You're like, cool, I need $5,000 to survive. If I bill hourly, I need to bill this many hours. Or if I bill by milestone projects, I need to have X amount of projects. That information is really freeing, yeah? Or scary, or both. And then as well, do it for your business. Create a monthly overhead. What's your business overhead? How much does it cost to keep your email functioning, your Squarespace up, to pay your freelancers who do all the scut work that you don't want to do? It's going to be hard to really pin down what you do spend on your business because what if you make somebody say something funny, a product, go. Oh, don't say widgets. This is a creative. I'm sorry, I don't mean to shame you. How about vests for kittens? You don't like cats? Vests for, okay, dogs. That works. So let's say you make vests for dogs. And you're like, you know what your monthly expenses for your social media coordinator and your whatever it is, samples. But what if you get a big order in? You can't really predict that expense. But that's a function of the sales. So that's why there's the rub with that. Does that make sense? Yeah? So know what your monthly overhead is for your business to function, and also what your monthly overhead is for you as a human being to function, and then simply earn that money, guys. I know the struggle, trust me, I know. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I forgot anything. All right, so here's some tools that I like. You need a budget.com for the personal side. You need a budget.com. You have to pay for it like $5 a month. And I like that, and I'll tell you why. Because you have some skin in the game. With Mint, who ignores Mint? Yeah, it's so easy. I'm gonna say she's a she. Mint is a she. She like emails you on a Saturday and she's like, Alyssa, you've overspent in entertainment. And you're like, that was Thursday and you're late. So yeah, it's easy to ignore. Mint is really easy to ignore. With you need a budget, you're paying, so you got skin in the game, right? So I would hope that you're like, oh, $5, I really got to make use of it every month. And it's just way more robust than Mint, meaning if you put in a budget for $100 in shoes each month and you don't hit it, then in the next month you have $200, or vice versa. If you spend $200 in one month and you budget $100, the next month you are negative $100. Does that make sense? Or you're net zero. Sorry, math. Yeah, you're net zero. Another tool you can do to stay on a budget is go on a cash diet. Has anyone ever done that? That's fun. I used to do that when I was in college. I would like tap the Mac on a Friday night, pull out $100 for the week, hope that I woke up Saturday with money in my wallet. You feel me? So that works as well. Going on a cash diet is like only allowing yourself to pay for discretionary / entertainment with cash. But I'm the kind of person you put cash in my pocket, kick me out the door, I come back with no money and no explanation of how I spent it. So it might not work for you guys the way it didn't work for me. It stopped working for me. There's also these new AI programs that just launched. One is called Albert, which I have not vetted. And one is called Indie Money. And millennials these days, it like texts you things and it like analyzes your spending. It's really high tech. I'm a little nervous to do it because I'm sure they would be like, you spend too much at Goodwill or something weird like that. But those are, if you're like an early adopter, I would encourage you to check those out. So, what now? You like Albert? I would like to pick your brain afterwards if that's cool. Okay, yeah, so Albert is good, from the gentleman in the back with the beanie. Yeah, remember guys, it's about the exercise, and it's all about the journey, yeah? Okay, cool. Rule number 5. Wait, does anybody have any questions about budgets? Great. All right, rule number 5 is just please organize your shit, please. So the first way I want you to think about organizing is, for the love of God, for the love of all living things, keep your business and personal separate, you guys. I'm looking at you, the ones who are looking at me, trying to not look at me, because I know you got to keep it separate. This is me, what is it, like hitting the hammer down? I don't know. This is me shaking my finger at you. You guys got to keep it separate. So if you have a business entity and you're like paying for rent out of your business, that's really hard to get away with, you know? You shouldn't be doing things like that. You know, like going to Starbucks, you could get away with things like that because you could be meeting people. But like paying for your rent, or like maybe like paying for your dog's vet bill out of your business account, big no-no. Don't do that, especially if you have an entity. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if something bad happens, and for whatever reason you get sued because your dog vests hurt a dog or something like that, and you're like the world's famous dog vest producer, you're Uber level of dog vest producing, and maybe you're not that. That's extreme, I'm sorry. Let's just say you're really popular, you're making a lot of money, now people are going after you, something bad happens, you've been commingling your business and your business and your personal. If they look at your financials, your bank statements for whatever reason, and they see that you're commingling it, you no longer have your liability protection. So it's called piercing the corporate veil, yes? And yeah, boom, mic drop, I'm out. Yeah, so you don't want to, you're risking that liability protection by commingling. Because they can argue you're not treating them as separate, therefore they're not separate, yes? Okay, great. So stop if you're doing that, no harm, no foul, just stop doing it. If you don't have an entity set up and you're a sole proprietor, I encourage you to keep it separate. Unless your goal is to not grow it, unless your goal is to like slowly close your company, which I don't think that's right. Everyone wants to slowly grow it, right? Separate it now. And it's going to help you with bookkeeping. You're going to have it all separate. So you can do it in a couple of ways. You can go to the bank. You can open up a checking account. And in your mind, just know that checking account ending in 5750, whatever it is your DogVest company account. And the other one is your personal account. And any sales from the DogVest company goes into that account. When you make a lot of money and it's time to pay yourself, transfer from the DogVest company account to your personal account, whilst also saving for taxes, and run it like that. And then all the expenses for the DogVest company, feel free to throw out another example, will get paid through that pseudo business account. Does that make sense to you guys? And then the other way you could do it, if you're like, that is too many accounts for me, I can't possibly do that right now, given all the other crap going on in my life. You can have a credit card and just book all any business expenses, put it on that credit card. The only thing is you still have to figure out like what business income came in. So you still have to do that extra step of calculation. Cool? All right. Everybody knows that's important, right? Okay. So now the next part of getting organized is understanding the way that you should think about your money is think about it in buckets. And each bucket is to accomplish a goal. Yeah? Did I lose you on that weird metaphor? No, I still got you? Okay. So your emergency fund bucket is for emergencies, yes? And your 401k bucket or IRA and other SEP IRA retirement savings are for that's a retirement goal, yes? And your business checking is for operating your business, yes? So think about it as buckets, and each bucket should have a goal. All right. Also, you should set up bookkeeping, yeah? Who here has bookkeeping for their business? Go you. You and you and you and you and you. Good job. Bookkeeping is important for two reasons. The first one is the weird kabuki thing we have to do called tax returns. That shit is weird. We got to do it. Bookkeeping eases the pain, right? Because you have either yourself or your bookkeeper or your accountant is going in and saying what each transaction is. And you just like literally hit a button and boom, you have the reports that you need for the tax return. Pain gone, yes? Pain gone, good. The other reason is because you need to know what the hell is going on with your business, yeah? Unfortunately or fortunately, the language of business is numbers. And unless you're running a nonprofit, and even if you are running a nonprofit, you still have to know how your company is doing. And by engaging in bookkeeping, by hiring somebody to do your books, by learning how to do bookkeeping, or all of the above, you understand how your business is doing. And it goes back to the whole budget thing of like, cool, I need to make $5,000. Did I make the $5,000? The bookkeeping tells you, yes? Cool. There's 3 options for you. The most virtuous option is to learn it yourself. Learn how to do bookkeeping. And you could go to lynda.com or anywhere on the internet, and I'm sure someone can teach you how to do bookkeeping. That is like the one thing I cannot teach you guys because it's torturous for me personally to try to teach that. And it's basically learning how to use the program, but also learning some fundamental accounting concepts. So if that terrifies you, maybe you can't learn everything on your own, which would take you to rule number 2, or the second option. And the second option is maybe having a bookkeeper or an accountant set up your bookkeeping. Maybe they teach you how to maintain your books every month. And then they check on your books either monthly or quarterly. Does anyone do that?
That's the question.
Okay, wait, before that, does anyone here do that? Okay, cool. That's called the lifeguard at the pool method. And it's good because you're forced to look at your own numbers, but if you screw it up, somebody can save you.
What's the difference between a bookkeeper and accountant?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Let me get to the third option, and then he asked what's the difference between a bookkeeper and an accountant. Then the third option is just to hire someone, either a bookkeeper or an accountant. Oh, what's the difference? Let me tell you. So all accountants can be bookkeepers because it's monkey data entry. it's not hard to do. I mean, you take accounting 101, or you just learn like, okay, that goes there and that goes there, and it's pretty simple. But all bookkeepers are not accountants. So literally, any of you, if you were like, I want to be a bookkeeper, you could hack that in like a couple of months, I'm sure. But if you wanted to be an accountant, you would either be a CPA, which is a certified public accountant. Generally, they have an accounting degree, and then they sit for an exam that's like 3 days, and then they file taxes for you. So your bookkeeper does not file your taxes. Your accountant files your taxes. It's your accountant's job to understand the tax code, understand your industry, your personal economics, and how taxes play into that. So they're tax counsel. Cool? Sweet. Do you guys have any questions about bookkeeping or taxes or accounting?
I got a question. Does anybody have a good accountant? Orange County? Because I can't find one. I've gone through 3 in a year and I'm over it. So anybody else? Anybody? Or if you know, if you could just hit me up after, I'd be super grateful
I would like that
the
information
reference.
as well. I have some LA-based people. Yeah.
With things like TurboTax and stuff these days, what's the argument for having an accountant?
The
You
argument.
keep QuickBooks and you do TurboTax and all of that.
Okay. So the tax code is 70,000 pages long, and not all of that applies to you. And some of that are like tables. So I think it ends up being around 3,000 pages. And I think Harry Potter, all the series, are 3,400 pages. So there's a lot of stuff in the tax code, and it's not your job, unless you want to be an accountant, to know the tax code. It changes every year. People lobby to have things changed, and then it gets changed. So the IRS sends out these really boring notices, and you're like, I don't know what this says because I didn't go to law school. So your accountant can help you navigate through that. If you just have a W-2, and that's it, and your stuff is really simple, by all means use TurboTax. But if you're a freelancer and you run your own business and things are a little bit more convoluted and complicated, definitely an accountant. Furthermore, which I'll get to point 8 because point 8 is get a good accountant. They'll help you like when things are, you're like, oh my god, I made 50 grand, this is amazing. In a couple of months, oh shit, what'd I do? Call Julia or whoever your accountant is.